Starts right now.
Hey there, good morning. Taking a live look outside this Saturday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to get you ready for the weekend.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So happy to have Patty here with us this Saturday morning. Sarah is out and about covering Huertos Fest.
Yes,
so
she's got a very busy rest of the day.
Absolutely, but it's awesome to have you here, Patty.
Yay.
Patty, of course, a staple on our morning shows during the weekdays. She gets the Saturday shift today.
We barely get to hang out, so we're glad to be hanging out with you and also with our viewers this morning.
It's a little muggy, though, out there.
Really? I thought it was good. I like stepping outside, and it felt just nice outside.
Well, there you go. I'm glad you're taking a positive spin on it. We do have some areas of patchy fog out there, especially southeast of San Antonio. Beeville, visibility down to a mile, visibility down to 0 practically in Freer and in Victoria. So outside of the city of San Antonio, especially to the south and to the east, you may run into some areas of patchy fog. That's where the humidity is the highest this morning. Dew points are in the 60s and 70s. That's at the top of the humidity scale. But you go up to the hill country, dew points in the 50s in Kerrville, Rock Springs, and in Fredericksburg feels pretty nice. Lower humidity up in the hill country and lower temperatures this morning up in the hill country too. 59 in Kerrville and 58 in Fredericksburg, but it's still 72 here in San Antonio, 64 in New Braunfels and 64 in Pleasanton. As we take a look at your weekend forecast, we're going to have very similar weather to what we've been dealing with the last couple of days. Morning clouds, afternoon sun, pretty warm. High temperatures near 90 degrees. Very warm for this time of year, up by about 10 degrees from the average. But coming up in the forecast, we're going to be talking about a preview ahead to Halloween. I made this graphic, okay? I'm so excited about it. These are the extremes that we've seen over San Antonio's Halloween history. Our warmest was 89 back in 1997. Our coldest was 27 degrees back in 1993. Our rainiest was just under 2 inches of rain all the way back in 1896. What does this Halloween have in store for us? I'll have that answer for you coming up. Patty.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Well, this morning, James Cotter remains in jail. He is a close friend and business partner of Brad Simpson, who also remains in jail as the search for his wife, Suzanne Simpson, continues. Now, she has been missing since October 7th. Yesterday, Cotter was in court for a bond hearing for his 2 third-degree felony charges. After the hearing, Cotter's attorney spoke only with KSAT and told our crews his client is being treated unfairly. They say right now he doesn't have access to proper meals or showers.
Sheriff Salazar is keeping this 65-year-old man in a holding cell. He's been in a holding cell the entire time he's been at the jail. This is probably the most unconstitutional, egregious action I've seen in my 30 years of law practice. I have murder cases and capital murder cases with bonds that aren't this high.
A judge ruled that Cotter's bond totals $1 million. A bond reduction hearing will be held on November 4th. Among the charges Cotter is facing, he is accused of hiding a gun for Brad Simpson. Arrest paperwork states Cotter was asked to remove a gun from the Simpsons' home and did. A source told KSAT that gun could be connected to Suzanne's disappearance. A man is on trial for allegedly shooting and killing a man after his wife pet his dog. We told you about this case earlier in the week. Jordan Eaton testified and shared his side to the jury. Eaton claims he had several encounters with his neighbor's barking dog that would approach him when he was outside with his dog. Eaton stated that the day of the shooting, he told the neighbors not to pet his dog before he started to argue with Valentin Gonzalez.
Why did you fire one shot to the ground?
I didn't want to shoot nobody. I just wanted him to leave me alone at this point.
All right, prosecutors played a video that shows Valentin reportedly fight Eaton for the gun. This is when Eaton allegedly fired twice, hitting Gonzalez. Eaton could face up to life in prison. The court will share closing arguments on Monday. Now, meanwhile, the teen suspected of going on the run after shooting and killing a Sonic manager is now back in San Antonio. 17-year-old Adia Robertson, who made the state's most wanted list, was brought back to town Thursday. The Lone Star Fugitive Task Force captured her at a Dallas apartment complex earlier this week. They say a tip led them to her. San Antonio police say that back in July, Robertson shot and killed 33-year-old Daniel Shrewsbury, a manager at a Sonic here in the city. They say Shrewsbury had confronted her after she tried to buy food with counterfeit money. And a scary situation at a San Antonio polling location on Thursday. Bexar County Sheriff's officers say this man right here, 63-year-old Jesse Lutzenberg, punched an election worker because they asked him to remove his hat. Now, this happened Thursday night at the Johnson Branch Library. That is just outside Loop 410 near Medina Base Road. According to a police report, Lutzenberg was wearing a MAGA hat and became upset when the clerk asked him to take it off. Now, this is because, according to election rules, no one is allowed to wear advertisements for specific candidates at the polls. He mistreated the clerk, and he is okay. He is back to work. The incident is something Sheriff Salazar calls very unusual.
It was still an ugly incident that I can't think of anything like this happening during my time here as sheriff, and I certainly hope to never see it again.
Bexar County Election Administrator Jackie Callanan wants to ensure everyone that the poll sites are safe and that they will increase security after this incident. She says from here on out, there's going to be an increased law enforcement presence at the Johnson Branch Library where the assault happened, and it's possible other polling location sites will also see officers. Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai released a statement following the assault. He says, in part, quote, "Violence has no place in our election process. This type of behavior will absolutely not be tolerated. We will not allow anyone to disrupt the election process," end quote. On the topic of early voting, if you haven't voted early yet, here are the hours for this weekend and next week. Today, the polls will open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Then on Sunday, they're going to be open from noon to 6 p.m. And all of next week, polls are open from 8 to 8 again. We add stories every day on KSAT's Vote 2024 webpage. You can go there to get voting resources like sample ballots and polling locations. To stay on the loop, scan the QR code right there on your screen. All right, time right now, 6:07, 72 degrees out there. Now, is mindlessly scrolling on your phone making you more depressed? It could be. Still ahead, we'll hear from a mental health expert on the epidemic of doom scrolling. And taking a live look outside with our live cam ahead, we're going to tell you how to help a veteran and his wife through a difficult time, and we have a list of events that are happening throughout this weekend.
Making sugar skulls. The sugar skull represents your loved one that has passed away. And you decorate them with glitter, with feathers, colored foil, and you write the name of your deceased loved one on the forehead of it. And the reason that they're made of sugar is so that when you go to the gravesite, which is traditionally where you would place them, that the ants or the rain will eventually wash it all away, symbolizing the temporary status of life. We believe that as long as you're remembered in life, you're not dead. But what I do is I put about 5 pounds of sugar and 5 tablespoons of meringue powder. If you're gonna color it, this is where you would add the color. So once you have the sugar and the meringue powder mixed, you're gonna put in some water. And very little water is required. I get like a little thing like this and then just put it in tablespoon at a time, and it starts to get that kind of wet sand feeling. And once it sticks together like this, that's how you know it's ready. A sugar skull mold should have 2 pieces, the front of the skull and the back. You pack the sugar into the mold very tightly. You take a piece of cardboard and smooth out that part and then gently lift off. Sugar skulls were originally done when the Spanish came over, and they showed the natives how to do sugar art. So I leave them for 24 hours to dry. I like to keep everything edible as I get some royal icing. It's basically what pastry chefs use as glue. And there you go. And you've made a sugar skull.
All right, Sarah, there's going to be a lot of weekend events.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I want to know, how should I dress? Should I take a sweater?
Dress no, absolutely not. Dress like you have over the last several days, because that's the way the weekend is going to be for us. We do see some changes potentially right around Halloween, so there's a lot to talk about in the forecast in spite of the fact that it's going to be similar weather this weekend. Let's go ahead and take a look outside right now. You can see that we're dealing with some clouds this morning. It's 72 degrees in San Antonio. Mostly cloudy skies, pretty humid around San Antonio too. And what I'm showing you here is the satellite picture from space, because here's Dallas, here's Houston, and then here's San Antonio right here. And you can see how in the last couple of hours we've started to see those low-level clouds work their way back in over San Antonio, and that's how we're going to start our day, with clouds. But we will see sun in the afternoon. Temperatures this morning kind of all over the map. If you're in the hill country, it's nice and cool. It's 58 degrees in Kerrville, but in San Antonio, it's still 72, 70 in Gonzales. Around the Alamo City, just outside of the city center, temperatures are generally in the 60s, and we are seeing some fog closer to the coast. Now, we'll have mostly cloudy skies through about 10 o'clock, but around 10, that's when we're going to start to see those skies clear. 81 around noon, and for the high temperature today, 89 degrees. At least the humidity will be a little bit lower in the late afternoon hours. So near 90 degrees and mild this evening, still in the 80s around sunset. It'll be 90 though in New Braunfels. Seguin, you'll be at 90 degrees, 90 in Poteet and Pleasanton, 91 in Floresville, 89 in Sabinal, 87 in Kerrville, and 88 in Comfort. Temperatures today running about 10 degrees hotter than they usually are this time of year. Speaking of unusual, we have gone 51 days straight without measurable rain at the San Antonio International Airport. This is a stat we continue to show as the days add up. It's our longest stretch since 1996, the longest stretch on record since the 1880s. Was back in 1993 when we got up to 63 days. Now, there's a good chance we could break that streak before the 63 days and potentially even add a little bit of rain to the rain gauge for the month of October. I'll show you why here in a second, but again, that graphic showing 51 days without measurable rain, it's not just us in San Antonio. A lot of Texas experiencing quickly expanding drought, and we've got extreme drought over San Antonio. That's that red color that you're seeing there. Just to put this into perspective for you, in early September, we had no extreme drought around San Antonio or anywhere across South Central Texas, but since September 5th, we have not seen any rain, and that is why we have seen a quick expansion of drought. Here's a look at our rain chances, though. Even though it's going to be dry for most of the week, by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at least a chance for some isolated rain. Now, as we take a look across the nation, it's quiet this weekend. There's a high pressure system right over Baja California. That's going to be moving overhead, keeping us dry this weekend and for a part of next week. However, by the middle of the week, a cool front will be moving through the nation, and this front is likely going to stall out over San Antonio. So we're not going to see crisp, cool fall air from this front, but we could be getting a few showers. That's why there's a 30% chance on Halloween for some rain. So here's what you can expect on Halloween. First of all, you will not need your jackets for cold weather, okay? No jackets needed for those kiddos. Around trick or treat, it'll still be in the upper 70s, near 80 degrees. The wild card, yeah, there could be a few light rain showers out there for trick-or-treating, but you know, nothing's going to stop those kids from getting that candy. As we take a look at our forecast over the next few days, again, some potential changes right around Halloween. Did I say Thanksgiving earlier? I think I got November on the brain. But Halloween, right around Halloween, we are going to see the potential changes there. And then the thing is coming up in the forecast, Patty, on KSAT.com, we've got a really great pumpkin patch map, like which pumpkin patch is nearest to you. I'm going to have your pumpkin patch forecast for, of course, this weekend, because a lot of those pumpkin patches closing up after Halloween.
Right. Day of. Yep. Like, we're done.
Right. So I'll have that forecast for you and a map, too, that you'll want to check out.
I really like the bats. Right
oh,
there.
yeah, that was fun.
Cool. Do it again.
Got to have fun with the forecast when it's this bland.
And we're having fun this morning.
Yes, we
All
are.
right, time right now, 6:17, 72 degrees out there. This morning, you have an opportunity to help a San Antonio veteran in need. Still ahead, we'll explain how you can pitch in. And are you stuck in a cycle of mindlessly swiping on your phone? Yep, I am. We'll tell you how it's impacting your health and how you can build healthier phone habits next.
Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. So it may seem minor, but mindless scrolling through our phones for hours on end, yeah, that can actually cause some serious damage. So we're talking about doom scrolling, which is a newer term over the last few years, where you are scrolling through your videos on your feed continuously.
You do that?
Not really. If I catch myself doing that, I'm like, okay, stop, Sarah.
Yeah.
Go outside.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Take in some fresh air.
Well, experts say this is slowly eroding our mental health. And I spoke with a child mental health specialist, and she gave me a few tips on how to stop the doom scrolling and build a healthier social habit.
Let me get my notepad.
Mindlessly watching videos on your phone can increase depression, anxiety, and cause feelings of fear, stress, even sadness. It can also hinder the brain's development.
FOMO, the infamous FOMO.
Pediatrician Griselda Anguiano specializes in mental health and teaches her own family how to use a timer to limit how much time they spend on electronics.
Practicing to say, you know, I'm going to choose to play or I'm going to choose to interact. It's tough. It's tough because, you know, the longer you've been doing it and those habits are tough.
Connecting as a family, playing outside or inside with a board game is a starting point to fix the doom scrolling problem.
And the relationship is worth it. You know, and sometimes it's being intentional, even if it's just 5 minutes or 10 minutes to say, like, hey, we're gonna play. We're gonna do this now. It doesn't have to be hours. It doesn't have to be, I have to go and spend money and take them somewhere. It could be just in the backyard. It could be on your kitchen table.
Being face-to-face and play like this helps our children's brain develop and even helps us teach them how to persevere through challenges, something they'll need in life that can't really be learned from a phone.
It's okay if you mess up. And I'm here with you, and we can work it out together, and we can figure it out. So this is a powerful one, but there's so many.
So remember, unplug, reconnect, and save your family's mental health.
It's never too late until it's too late, right? But if we're still here, if you're listening, you know, if we're talking, then it's not too late.
All right, and hopefully you'll take some time to hang out with your kids and your family this weekend. Time right now, 6:23, 72 degrees out there. We'll be right back. Hey there, welcome back. Well, today at 10 a.m. on a new episode of Texas Eats, David Elder checks out San Antonio's newest mini golf spot, Pop Stroke.
This is a beautiful day to be out here, and I gotta tell you, the food out here, it looks rockin', great bites, but it's all about the putt-putt. So talk to me about the inspiration behind Pop Stroke.
Yeah, Pop Stroke is a new miniature golf entertainment facility. We have two 18-hole miniature golf courses that are uniquely designed for this property only. We've got a playground for kids and an amazing bar and restaurant.
And that's what we got right here in front of us. We have 3 refreshing cocktails from behind the bar, different bites that you can get depending on your hunger level, right? Because you got some starter bites, you also got the burger right here that looks amazing. Now, I want to talk about these guys right here because these are grilled chicken wings.
It's all fresh, cooked in-house, a la carte, and it's super tasty.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Wow, good wing. Right here in the front, you said these chicken tenders are where it's at.
I throw my money on the line, best tender around.
Wow, that's big talk, Tim.
It is.
All right, the next episode of Texas Eats is this morning at 10. And coming up at 9, David and the Texas Eats crew will be showing us what they're cooking up at the Texas Open Fire Meetup. Get it? Meetup? Down in Hondo. Time right now, 6:28, 72 degrees out there. Dia de los Muertos, Space Con, and the Spurs are back home. It's a jam-packed weekend of events in downtown San Antonio. We'll give you a look at the schedule next. And learn how you can help a veteran in need today over at the VFW Post 76. Hey there, good morning. It is 6:30 on Saturday, October 26th. We're just a few days from Halloween, and then really it's the holidays because it goes by so fast.
And something else to celebrate. We got the Paddy Santos here with us on the weekend, which
I thought you were going to say something else.
just celebrating you. All right, temperatures in the 70s right now, so it doesn't feel very fall-like at all. To put this in perspective, our average high this time of year is 79, so we are already warm. It is cooler, though, up in the hill country where we've got less humidity, so big temperature spread just from downtown San Antonio up to Bernie, where it's only 59, 58 in Comfort, 58 in Kerrville, 62 in Uvalde, 70 in Seguin, 68 in Floresville. We do have a few areas of patchy fog out there. Speaking of patchy, though, let's talk about another type of patch. Let's talk about pumpkin patches, all right? So this is kind of the last weekend for a lot of pumpkin patches out there, and it's going to be a warm one. Go early with the clouds. You'll get better pictures, trust me, with clouds overhead. Otherwise, it's going to be warm. 81 at noon, 89 for the afternoon high temperature, and mostly sunny. And if you're curious, where's the nearest pumpkin patch to me? We got a pumpkin patch map and a corn maze map on KSAT.com. All you got to do is scan that QR code. It'll take you to the map, show you the times and how late things are open. Scan that QR code. Go enjoy a pumpkin patch. Pretend like it feels like fall outside, even though it doesn't. But here's the thing. By Halloween, I do expect a little bit of a weather pattern change for us after what will potentially be our warmest October on record. Details coming up.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Well, happening today, you have a chance to help out a veteran and his wife in need before they lose their home for good. Patricia Seyfarth and her husband, David, a post-Vietnam veteran, have been dealing with one bad break after another. First, storms in 2022 that caused serious damage to the roof of their house. And at the same time, David was diagnosed with brain cancer. Facing stacking bills, Patricia turned to VFW Post 76, who is helping the couple navigate the VA's disability claims and getting help from a local contractor to fix their home.
It means the world because this struggle has been so extreme and I am no longer able to handle it.
And the fix on the roof on the low end is about $20,000, but the contractor says they're going to donate the labor, and they got one of their suppliers to donate $5,000 in materials. Now, this is where you come in. The VFW will be holding a plate sale today to help Patricia and David with the extra cost of fixing their home. They're going to start selling plates at noon until they run out of food. They'll be over at the VFW Post 76 that's located on 10th Street. Or from Dia de los Muertos to meetups with the biggest names on sci-fi to your San Antonio Spurs. There is no shortage of stuff going on in the Alamo City this weekend, so here's a quick rundown of what's happening. First off is of course, Dia de los Muertos. The festivities got started yesterday with the Day of the Dead River Parade on the Riverwalk and the Day of the Dead Festival at La Villita, which you can also catch tonight and tomorrow night. Meanwhile, this is a big one. Hemisphere will be hosting Muertos Fest, and Market Square will be the site for cultural celebration of Dia de los Muertos. Those are both happening today and tomorrow, and coming up at 8, our Devin Karp is going to be at Muerto Fest at Hemisphere for a little preview of what you can see there. And looking to take the trip to the Final Frontier Space Con is happening today through Sunday at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. The pop culture event will see big names from Star Wars, Star Trek, and Marvel franchise like Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor, and some favorites from The Mandalorian like Giancarlo Esposito, Ming-Na Wen, not to mention William Shatner. I know that name. You can get tickets online. And last but certainly not least, the Spurs are gearing up for the first home game of the season tonight. The Spurs will be up against the Houston Rockets in the first of a series of games at the Frostbank Center. The Spurs are coming off a tough opening to the season, losing to the Dallas Mavericks 120-109. The Rockets also had a rough showing in their last game, losing 110-105 to the Charlotte Hornets. Tonight's showdown at the Frostbank Center starts at 7:30. And time right now is 6:36, 72 degrees out there. Still ahead, Star Wars actress Daisy Ridley is starring in a new movie. And our SA Live team spoke with her directly on what moviegoers can expect from Magpie. And a historic downtown church well on its way to recovery. Up next, learn how soon the Travis Park Church could finish repairs. And a live look outside with our live cam this morning. A beautiful, busy morning already for some of you. Stay with us. We'll have a look at your weather coming up next. Welcome back. The historic Travis Park Church is now the site of some major construction work 5 years after the building suffered massive damage from flooding and a roof collapse. Avery Everett took a look inside the church's progress, which could be done as soon as Christmas.
Through piles of scaffolding comes signs of hope.
We don't just see our survival, we'll see our future.
Travis Park United Methodist Church is under construction to rebuild and rejoice again.
Obstacles have befallen us over the years, but the doors keep opening up.
Friday marks 5 years since the roof over the youth building collapsed because of heavy rain. The cave-in led a sprinkler line to burst, leaving leaks and flooded halls. In the days after, crews cleaned what they could. The damage revealed the need for this church to have a full renovation.
So really it's modernizations and upgrades.
These aisles here are covered and the construction here is far from complete. But this project isn't just about preserving history. It's also about restoring hope.
For more than 170 years, this church has been a safe place in San Antonio, serving asylum seekers, homeless, and members of the LGBTQ+ community.
A lot of them feel like there's no church for me, but there is.
Talking about this church makes you emotional. Why?
It's not this church, it's the people who come here.
Travis Park Church sees strength through this construction, but more importantly, strength through its community. Phase 1 of this project is on track to have this sanctuary open back up by Christmas.
I'm thinking and hoping it'll be a full house.
The pipe organ opens up and fills the space.
A noise not heard here now, but one soon to fill this space again. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
What a great story. And then what a good reminder, too, that even though we're in the middle of drought, rains eventually come. Yeah. And it's really feast or famine when it comes to the rainfall here in San Antonio. So
well, hopefully we can get a little bit of rain. We don't need that much rain.
Absolutely not that much. But just a little bit would be nice. And it does look like we do have the potential for some rain right around Halloween. So there's a lot to talk about in the forecast.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look out there. Big temperature difference depending on where you live, okay? It's 72 around San Antonio, 73 in Converse, 73 at Simpson. Bit of a warmer morning around the Alamo City just because of the proximity to the city itself. But you go out into the hill country, 57 in Comfort and Kerrville, 59 in Burning. Yes, please. Nice and cool up there in the hill country, 56 in Lakey. Now there's less humidity up to the north. Meanwhile, it's a bit more muggy around San Antonio. Take a look at these dew points. Dew points near 70 degrees in San Antonio. That's tropical, but up in the hill country, dew points are in the 50s, which is pleasant. Here's the thing, though, even though it's going to be warm today, the humidity is going to come down in the afternoon. Dew points will be in the 50s during the peak heat of the day, so you won't have to worry about much of a heat index value this afternoon. It will, however, still be warm. Looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, clouds out there right now. We're going to stay mostly cloudy until about 10, and then as we head into the afternoon, 81 around noon, mostly sunny skies. This afternoon, high temperature of 89. It's going to be close to 90 in many areas areas, 90 in New Braunfels, 90 in Del Rio, 90 in Pleasanton, 90 in Eagle Pass, 91 in Laredo, and 90 in Beeville. It has been a very warm October. Take a look at your screens. I'm showing you the high temperatures for October. And what's fascinating is other than just a couple of days, the 16th and 17th, when we had that cool front move through, it has mainly been warmer than average every single day of this month. In fact, on the 14th and the 8th, we had record high temperatures for the day. Right now, October is on track to be the hottest October on record for San Antonio, and records date back to the 1880s. But take a look at what happens. We do see temperatures trend back a little bit in the week ahead. Mid 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday, low 80s by Thursday and Friday. And that's because there will be a cool front sweeping across the nation. Now, it won't necessarily be cool here in Texas or in San Antonio, but we are going to see some changes. Right now, all we've got is this high pressure system over Baja California. That's going to be moving overhead, keeping us dry this weekend and in the coming week. But as I take a look at the, I want to go back before we take a look at the pumpkins, okay? Because I want to show you the cool front that's going to be coming in. The cool front will be stalling over San Antonio, so that means that it's not going to get cold in San Antonio. It'll be warm. You won't need any jacket. But the kiddos around trick or treat should be dealing with temperatures in the upper 70s and near 80 degrees. And there's a potential for a few light rain showers on Halloween and around trick or treating. So keep that in mind. The 7-day forecast calls for a 30% chance on Thursday for a few of those showers. But as we get closer to Thursday, we'll be able to refine that forecast, give you a good timeline on when and if we can expect any rain in San Antonio. So again, a decent chance for rainfall on Halloween. Maybe we'll actually record measured rain at the airport for the first time this month on the last day of this month. And that would be a welcome change.
You know, we had some clouds this week, and I thought for sure we might get some rain.
It kind of looked like it, right? And I even got a few sprinkles.
Yeah, I got a few
but
sprinkles.
It just was not measurable. Not measurable.
Not enough for my lawn.
No, my lawn is brown and crunchy right now.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Time right now, 6:47, 72 degrees out there this Saturday. Coming up, SA Live's movie guy, John Marr, caught up with movie star Daisy Ridley out South by Southwest and learned all about her upcoming film, Magpie. Welcome back. This past March, SA Live covered the South by Southwest Festival and hit the red carpet for interviews with Hollywood's finest.
So SA Live's producer and film enthusiast John Marr had a chance to chat one-on-one with actress Daisy Ridley. You'll remember her from Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and the rest of the cast on her new thriller Magpie, which is in select theaters this weekend. Take a look.
It was my idea originally, and then I landed from the job I was on where I had the inspiration and told Tom, and he started writing it, and we went from there. And it was a very organic process to the script.
What is the story behind how you came up with this?
I was on set with a little girl playing my daughter, and I just thought how strange it is. On film sets we have these intense relationships, and she knew that I of course wasn't her parent, but at work she's calling me mummy and we're building a relationship. So it came from that, of the lines being, the original idea was the lines being blurred with an actress trying to infiltrate a family, and then Tom sort of crafted that, and we follow more Annette, so the woman left at home who isn't on set, who doesn't have all the excitement of the filmmaking world, and is left with a baby and pushed beyond her limits.
What was that film that you got that experience from?
Oh, The Marsh King's Daughter. And the little girl was absolutely amazing and such a beautiful, bright, wonderful, innocent light. Oh, gorgeous.
Magpie is an interesting name. Why the name?
Well, there's various reasons, but one of them is that magpies are kind of attracted to shiny objects, and in the film you have Ben, who has a very hard attraction to someone called Alicia, and in a way he it's a reflection of that with other meanings. There's all the sort of superstitious meanings as well, but yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your character.
I play Ben, who's a writer, and he sort of moves with Annette, his wife, played by Daisy, into the countryside. They sort of isolate themselves, and things start to go a bit wrong, and they're not in a great place, and he starts to look elsewhere to sort of satisfy his life. You know.
Really nice to meet you.
You too. I'm a big fan.
Yes, it's the story about a couple, Ben and Annette. They have 2 kids, and their daughter is cast in a film to play my stepdaughter. And so I meet her dad, and I'm going through this, very difficult time with this intimate video being leaked online, and I feel like some normalcy with spending time with Ben and Tilly, the little girl, playing my stepdaughter. And things evolve. I don't want to spoil it too much.
It's a smaller cast, right? I mean, compared to a film like Star Wars or something like that you've done. Do you feel like you have more range to act, to experience the character with more of a smaller cast like that?
I feel like every job is an experience, and every job, hopefully, every job you do is you become better at what you do. I've had great experiences on so many things, and this was a great experience, and it was something I hadn't done before, which is always exciting. And also, I got to work. What is crazy is every single actor in the film was our first choice, which we couldn't believe. So I was very excited to act with everyone else in the film.
When you say it's not something that you've done before, what do you mean?
I haven't played a character like Annette before. At the beginning of the film, she is crushed. She is sort of disintegrating under the weight of the isolation that she's under, the claustrophobia of the house that she lives in, and the life that she has had to be part of because her husband wanted that. And when things take a turn in the film and she becomes sort of a private investigator, it was so fun to do that because I haven't done that thing of sort of playing with someone else. And there's a lot in the film that's concealed and held back, and what's true and what's not. So it was fun doing that.
What's a role that you would like to play in the future?
Oh my God, well, I'd love to be in a musical. I've said this so many times. Please, someone put me in a musical. Yeah.
We'll look into it for you.
Thank you.
All right, SA Live airs weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSAT 12. You can scan the QR code for more arts, culture, food, and fun. Celebrating San Antonio is what they're all about. The time right now, 6:55, 72 degrees out there. Here's a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America. Hey there, before you go, the Down Syndrome Association of South Texas is hosting its 24th annual event this morning at 9 a.m. The nonprofit says this is one of the best ways to support what they do, and it provides them with the resources they need to help families. Now, you can scan the QR code right there on your screen for more information, or, of course, visit ksatcommunity.com. Looking ahead, the Children's Heart Foundation is hosting their annual family-friendly walk. It is happening tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. at Morgan's Wonderland Sports. The event supports the foundation's mission to fund research for congenital heart defects. Coming up later on GMSA on our newscast, Jaffney Gray will introduce us to one little boy diagnosed with a heart defect who, thanks to this nonprofit, is getting the care he needs.
Looking forward to that story. It's 73 degrees in San Antonio and mostly cloudy. A very mild and muggy morning to start your Saturday. However, we're going to see sunshine, and in the afternoon it'll be warm. 89 degrees for the forecast high temperature in San Antonio. Today will likely be the warmest day over the next several days, although tomorrow is going to be very similar to today. We do see our rain chances start to tick up on Thursday, Halloween. More on that Halloween forecast coming up at 8.
Right, fingers crossed. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you again at 8.